All right, Shalom. All right, Shalom. Shalom. Yep. All right, Shalom. I'm going to start off by giving all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Yahweh Kodash. I want to say double honor to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone for teaching His word in truth and sincerity and for ruling well. And salutations to my fellow Akim across the four corners of the globe, preaching in the name of Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. It is the brother Gabar Yahweh from GMS Hawaii, coming to you with another lesson. Today's live lesson is entitled, These Holidays Are When the Heathen Celebrate Our Downfall. And today is November 25th, 2021, year the hastening of the coming of our Lord, Yahweh Shai, Hamashiach, through his father, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Okay, and it's so-called Thanksgiving. Right now you got a lot of people, nations across the world, particularly here in America, and across the world, but particularly here in America, the different nations, the people that dwell here, as well as 2/3 of our own people, they're in a celebratory state today, you know, and they make up any cause to celebrate this so-called Thanksgiving Day, okay, which Thanksgiving is really a satanic and a wicked holiday that the nations, chiefly Esau, Edom, celebrate the downfall of the tribe of Gad, Reuben, and Issachar here in North America, as they've taken America and they contrived a BS story about how Thanksgiving was formed, when in reality that day was a bloody day for our people, okay? And so I just want to kind of go into detail about that. And when you look at these other satanic holidays, you got Thanksgiving today, and which they're already getting ready for Christmas, okay, which is another satanic holiday. Christmas, you know, which mass means death, and it's really the celebration of the anointed's death. And on top of that is the day of Saturnalia, you know, the day of just wickedness and evil. And our people in the world, they've contrived a thought that, well, we're not celebrating the death of the natives here in America. We just celebrating, we just thankful. And I'm like, you can be thankful any other day besides November 25th or whatever so-called Thanksgiving falls. And what they're going to get ready for tomorrow, Black Friday. People going to line up, they're going to get a full stomach, a day of gluttony, full stomach, and then they're going to go outside and try to get deals, you know. So none of these days, these holidays are high holy days. The Lord didn't give us Thanksgiving Day. He didn't give us Christmas Day. He didn't give us New Year's Eve, all right? He didn't give us Halloween. He gave us high holy days that we should follow. Real quick before I start off, and these couple scriptures that I had. This is the book of, so just bear with me. This is the book of Leviticus chapter 23, the book of Leviticus, because we're Israelites and we're supposed to do what the Lord set up for us to do. You know, we're supposed to follow after the customs and ways that the Lord gave us. As a matter of fact, before I go to Leviticus, there's a book of Jeremiah chapter 10 verse 1. Jeremiah 10 and 1. It's kind of windy out here. I'm going to have to take my phone. Jeremiah chapter 10 verse 1. It says, hear ye the word which the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is speaking unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed in the signs of heaven. For the heathen are dismayed at them. Right. And so Today is a day of the heathen, and we ain't supposed to learn the ways of the heathen. Okay, we're not supposed to. Why? Because it's all vanity. All right. It says, "Thus saith the Lord: Learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, which the heathen are." So that's why they create these holidays, not holy days, but holidays. All right, that they worship the moon, the sun, the stars, you know, or a tree, a stalk, a rock, an animal, a person, right? These are the ways of the heathen. And since we've been in this captivity, this captivity that we're currently in, the second leg of the Roman Empire, which is the feet, okay, that mixed with miry clay and mixed with clay and iron. Since we've been here, we learned nothing but the ways of the heathen. We learn to celebrate the days that Esau have established for us to worship, instead of worshiping the way of Yahweh Shai. Okay, we as Israelites, we have a culture. This is what people like Vocab Malone, this is what people like that Jesus is the Word, these kind of characters that come up against the Word, against the truth. They don't want you to follow after the customs of Israel. They want you to believe that our ancient customs are gone away with or done away with. But as the scripture says in Baruch chapter 4 verse 1, this is the book of the law that endure forever. So us keeping the laws and the commandments the Lord has established for us, they last forever. It don't matter who's in rulership or what time of day it is or year it is. These laws still stand, right? But in this world, in this captivity, in this pit, we're not taught to follow after our own customs. We're taught to follow after the customs of other people. As I was taking a ride up here to come out here and do this lesson in the park, I noticed the heathen nations. You know, they got tables out here, not this particular park, another park, but they got tables out here. They got their family getting together. They're about to eat turkey and ham. And these are the same people that'll go back on Sunday or Saturday, whenever they worship, and say they believe in Jesus Christ or they believe in the Bible. These are the same people that do that. But yet, here it is, you just got off and eating pork. You just got off and eating shrimp, crab, lobster, some type of abomination, food sacrificed unto abomination, in which majority of the nations here in America, including the nation of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, what you're doing is you're following after a vague custom, right? A custom that has nothing to do with being thankful, right? Hey, I saw a video Elder Yashawama posted up. They had a Thanksgiving Day parade, right? And they had a big purple dinosaur, Barney, and motherfucker just exploded, man. You know, while en route. Because see, again, these days have nothing to do with us or the Heavenly Father. You know, they put it, they dress it up as something good for the kids. Oh, it's a parade. Or they dress it up. Oh, it's a turkey. You know, we're gonna dedicate this dry ass turkey to these people, or they'll give a turkey a pardon. Meanwhile, they won't give you Jake's a pardon from what's been done to you. Meanwhile, Esau continuously convict and jack our people up, right? And the only time you get a pardon is if you pay for one, right? But the point of the matter is that this is not a day for us. This is a day of the heathen, all right? This is lamentation. And again, they use these holidays to covertly celebrate the downfall of our people. They use this so-called holiday to covertly celebrate the downfall of our people. This is Lamentation 2:15. It says, all that pass by clap their hands. And who passed by us? The different nations. They clap their hands at thee. All that pass by clap their hands at thee. And they hiss and wag their head at the daughter of Jerusalem. We're the daughter of Jerusalem, saying, is this the city that men call the perfection of beauty, right? Because we are that city. That's why when we get into the chariots, we get those new bodies, and we come out of the chariots, John saw us what? Descending. I saw New Jerusalem descending, you know? Not no big block city, but it's talking about the people. We're going to be descending in those new bodies, taking over the earth, right? But the point is, that's another lesson for another time. The point of the matter is that these nations, they see the condition that we're in. They see the customs that we follow, the customs that we keep. vain customs that we keep following after them, and that leaves us in a destroyed state. That leaves us in a destroyed state, a perpetual state of confusion. And the nations, they like that. They be like, just a city of perfection. Their God could have chosen another way. They could have chosen me. Why didn't you choose them? Why did you choose them? You know, that kind of mentality. It says the perfection of beauty, the joy of the whole earth, because that's what we're supposed to be. Real quick, this is Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 6. Deuteronomy 4 and 6. Yep. This Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 6, it says, I'll start at 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh my power, commanded me that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. For what nation is there so great, who hath the Most High so nigh unto them, as the Lord Yahweh our God is in all things that we call upon him for? So that's what made us the perfection of beauty. That's what make us the joy of the whole earth, is that we keep the Lord's laws, statutes, and commandments and statutes that he taught us, that he gave to Moses to teach us, right? He put in his word to teach us. He sent the Holy Spirit down to give us his word through his son Yahweh Shai. This was supposed to make us the perfection of beauty, the joy of the whole earth, right? This is what supposed to leave the nations in awe, not our entertainment skills, not our sexual prowess, not our physical stature, but us keeping the laws, statutes, commandments, and doing them. These people would say these other nations are the other people. Would say, hey, what other nation has a God like this so near unto them? Because these other nations, they have idols they call gods, but they're not close to them. They don't protect them. They don't save them. They don't bring them out of destruction. They don't give them laws, statutes, commandments to live by. They don't give them knowledge and wisdom and understanding. So when they look at us, we're supposed to be that, but we're not that at this point, because our people are in a lower state. We're in captivity, and only the remnant of Israel is going to return back and do these things. But even still, when these nations look at us, they don't look at us as the joy of the whole earth. Going back into Lamentations chapter 2, verse 16, all thine enemies have opened their mouth against thee, right? And all our enemies are these other nations. Start with the nation of Edom, the so-called white man, right? You are the nation of Edom. Not everybody that's a so-called white man or woman or child is an Edomite. You got a lot of our people scattered amongst them. You got other nations scattered amongst them. But the point of the matter is that when we talk about the Edomites right now, as it concerns the super elite, because those are all Edomites. The super elite. I'm not talking about their little workers. I'm talking about the super elite. But you got elites of the other families too. They're our enemies too. The other nations, all the nations are our enemies, man. Because following at the nations, what did they do? They destroyed us, man. And they didn't look out. These other nations, when we followed into their customs, they just let us fall. And they knew that it would happen. These nations, those in the know, they knew that if we followed after their customs, we'd be separated from our power. Hey, this is the reason why things like Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's, and all these other, your birthday, all these so-called holidays are pushed above the days that the Lord have established for us. Because they keep us, when you follow after these vague customs, it keeps you that much further away from Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. You see all the fervency Jake put in behind Thanksgiving. You go out, you get certain foods, you get that turkey, you get that glazed ham, you go out and get the crabs, your so-called seafood. You go out there and get all your products for it, and you really prepare for this day. Well, we have days that you're supposed to prepare for like that. Chiefly the day of Passover, man. You're supposed to prepare for that, but Jake don't worship that. Jake don't follow after that custom. It's like when you mention Jake and you gotta eat, take all the leaven out your house. You gotta eat a lamb. Now we can't do it the prescribed way, because we don't own any land, we don't have any control over the cattle and stuff like that. So we gotta, do the best that we can on this side. But nonetheless, that's a day of preparation. You got the Feast of Tabernacles. You got the Purim. You got Hanukkah, the real Hanukkah. You know what I'm saying? We got high holy days, man. We got the Feast of Unleavened Bread. We got days that you're supposed to prepare for. The Day of Atonement, which is a day of fasting, a 24-hour period from sundown to sundown. Sundown one day to sundown the next day. That's a 24-hour period. The so-called Jew, they call themselves doing that, and then they go extra, and they do all this other stuff, right? These people that are living in our land, that are taking our customs and did what they want to do with it, they claim that they're claiming that they're the Lord's people, and they are not, But the point of the matter is that we're supposed to be following those days, man. But our people ain't doing it. Jake in the mindset of this world. So again, all thy enemies have opened their mouth against thee. They hiss and gnash. They hiss and gnash. So let me read it again. All thy enemies have opened their mouth against thee. They hiss and gnash the teeth. They say, we have swallowed her up. Certainly this is the day that we look for. We have found, we have seen it. Right, and that's what they do. When they see us following after their ways, their customs, their ideologies, they look at our people as destroyed. Oh, look at these niggas. Look at all these niggas. Look at these spicks. Look at these whatever. Look at them. They celebrating Christmas. They celebrating Thanksgiving. They going to the store, buying these gifts, bringing trees into the house, dead trees into the house, which the scriptures speak against that. Jeremiah 10 and 2 and 3 on down. Okay. Really can start at 1. When they see us in that state, when they see us being thugs and killing each other, destroying each other, living a base life, that's what they look for. That's what they hope for. That's the day they were waiting for, to see us in total disarray and confusion, because they know that when we follow after the law, statute, commandment, when we follow after Yahweh Shem Yahushai, when we seek Yahweh Shem Yahushai in truth and in spirit, can't nobody stop us, man. And ain't nothing they can do. We got our own customs. We got our own ways. Thanksgiving is not a custom of ours, man. Okay? And that's what we're speaking against. In fact, it's a day of genocide for our people. Let me see this. Let me see this real quick. This is, I just typed in the truth about Thanksgiving, the myths of Thanksgiving, the story and lasting damage they imbue, because that's what it does. This day, so-called Thanksgiving, it imbues damage to us, man. So this is a website called the Smithsonian mag.com. All right, and it says the myths of the Thanksgiving story and the lasting damage they imbue. It says, in truth, massacre, disease, and American Indian tribal politics are what shaped the Pilgrim Indian Alliance at the root of the holiday. Right, when you're growing up, they have little plays in school, dressed as pilgrims and Indians, which we're not Indians. Our people are not Indians. Indian just means savage. Okay. It says, in Thanksgiving pageants held at schools across the United States, we just said that, children don headdresses colored with craft store feathers and share tables with classmates wearing black construction paper hats. And it's a tradition, and these are all traditions of men, doctors of men. This ain't the tradition that the Lord established for us, that pulls on a history passed down through generations of what happened. And really, all these holidays that Jake celebrates, they're days of lies. They're lies. Matter of fact, this is Nahum, real quick. Book of Nahum, chapter 3, verse 1. Yep, Nahum 3 and 1. says, woe to the bloody city, it is full of lies and robbery, and the prey departeth not. Right. So that's what is that bloody city? America. America is that bloody city. We're all citizens of this place, are we not? And it's full of lies and robbery, man. It was built on the blood of the Israelites, the so-called Native Indians, the so-called Negroes, the so-called Mexicans, the so-called Latinos, okay, so-called Seminole Indians. It was built and established on our blood and on our backs and on our free labor, right? It's full of lies. So all these holidays you celebrate a white man sliding down a so-called chimney. Most Jake don't even got no damn chimneys, man. Let alone a so-called white man sliding down your chimney, bringing you presents. That's all bullshit. That's all a lie. That's a story that was created by Coca-Cola. You know what I'm saying? To get you to buy these products, man. And now all these so-called holidays have become commercialized, man. So it says, it's tradition that pulls on a history passed down through the generations of what happened in Plymouth. Local Native Americans welcomed the courageous pioneering pilgrims to a celebratory feast. But as David Silverman writes in his new book, this land is their land, right? America is Gad's land, the tribes of Israel land. It wasn't Edomites' land. The Wampanoag Indians, Plymouth colony, and the troubled history of Thanksgiving. Much of that story is a myth, riddled with historical inaccuracies, man, lies and robbery. Beyond that, Silverman argues that the telling and the retelling of these falsehoods is deeply harmful to the Wampanoag Indians, whose lives and society were forever damaged after the English arrived in Plymouth. Right, when you Edomites came, you so-called religious Edomites, you came, you were the worst of the Edomites over there in Europe, man. That's what you really were. And you weren't religious either, man. Okay, you were just demons, man. Coated with a fake veneer, a thin-ass veneer of religion, of religiosity, if that's a word, right? Funky motherfuckers. It says Silverman's book focused on the Wampanoags. When the Pilgrims landed at Plymouth in 1620, and that was right about the time where the so-called Negroes was already over here in captivity, right? The Sekum, or the chief, Sekum, or the chief, which there gotta be a Hebrew word, Sekum. So I just look up the term chief in a Hebrew, in a inkliner on oh, now blue letter ain't working. Anyway, let me find it. Just bear with me. This is blue letter Bible. Just looking up that word for chief. Okay. Right. So this is the incliner. The word for chief is shar. So anyway, I just wanted to see if it was gonna show the Hebrew word for chief. Was it close to that? So let me go back to where I was at. Back in this article, it says it says Silverman's book focused on the Wampanoags when the Pilgrims landed at Plymouth in 1620. The Second, or the chief, or the chief, All right, it says, or the chief, Aso McQuinn, offered the new arrivals an entity primarily as a way to protect the Wampanoags against their rivals, the Narragansets. For 50 years, the alliance was tested by colonial land expansion, the spread of disease, and the exploitation of resources on the Wampanoag land. Then tensions ignited into war, known as King Philip's War or the Great Narragansett War. The conflict devastated the Wampanoags and forever shifted the balance of power in favor of Europeans or Edomite arrivals. Wampanoags today remember the Pilgrims' entry to their homeland as a day of deep mourning rather than a moment of giving thanks. We spoke to Silverman's history professor at George Washington University about his research and the argument he makes in his book. It says, I've had great many conversations with Wampanoag people in which they talk about how burdensome Thanksgiving is for them, particularly for the kids. Wampanoag adults have memories of being a kid during Thanksgiving season, sitting in school, feeling invisible, and having to wade through the nonsense that teachers were shoveling their way. They felt their people, and that's right. American school system is a bunch of bullshit and lies, man, and deceit and cover-ups, man. See, Esau don't want to talk about that shameful spewing that's upon him, man, because he knows that he's a piece of shit, man, and all his glory is a bunch of lies, man. This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse Habakkuk chapter 2, verse yep, Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 16, but I'm gonna start at 12. Habakkuk 2 and 12. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood and establisheth a city by iniquity. And that's how Esau built America. That's why he can have these holidays, because they celebratory days. Not everybody's in the know about the evil and the wickedness of this place. Not everybody's in the sphere of understanding about what's really going on. A lot of people are in the dark, and they ignorantly following after these customs. Okay, the day that them pilgrims arrived to the Wampanoags' land wasn't a day of thanks, man. They weren't the Wampanoags weren't thankful for that shit. How Esau expanded his territory on their land, how they used their resources as they always do, killed their people, how they spread disease amongst our people. That's not a day of thanks. Only a psycho would be thankful for that kind of shit, man. I told somebody, I was like, I'm thankful for what Yahweh Shem Shai does for us every day, man. Not just on a particular day, man. You know, whether it's good or bad. The scripture says, in all things give thanks, man. Right? So it says, woe to him that buildeth a town with blood, establish a city by iniquity. Behold, it is not of the Lord, is it not of the Lord of hosts, that the people shall labor in the very fire, and people shall weary themselves for vanity? For the earth shall be filled with the knowledge of the glory of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai, as the waters cover the sea. Right, and that's what's happening right now. It's going to chiefly happen when the kingdom of heaven is established. It says, verse 15, woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that putteth thy bottle to him, and maketh him drunken, so that thou mayest look on their nakedness. And that drunkenness is not talking about liquor or wine. That drunkenness is talking about these different philosophies, man. And Esau, that's what he gives to you. He teach you as a child. You learn a lot of these customs and traditions that you so-called follow, you learn as a child. What's the first thing people say to you when you tell them, hey, you shouldn't be celebrating Thanksgiving or Christmas? Oh, I'll just do it for the kids. I'm just thankful for the kids. You know? Then they teach the children that, and then the children grow up and they teach their children that. Instead of teaching them the laws, statutes, and commandments in which Yahweh Shem Shai gave us, you'll teach some bullshit that Esau gave you, man. And even when there's contradictory evidence for these holidays that you so-called celebrate, you still don't want to give it up, man. You niggas is too proud to give it up. Oh, fuck, I gotta eat. You can make a feast any day, man. You can buy all that shit, with the exception of the abominations, any day and make a meal. What's the difference? Why I gotta be on a Thursday, the last Thursday in motherfucking in motherfucking November, man? Why? And that wasn't even a custom always in America. Lincoln had to establish that day. But you jakes don't understand it anyway. Scripture says, woe to him that give his neighbor strong drink. That's why you Edomites, you do that to look on our nakedness. Look at them sin. They sin it. But look, this is what you told them. This is what you gave them. You didn't give them the truth when it was very much available. But then by the time it started to get published, republished again to the world, these people are so far gone that they don't even want to turn back from that shit, man. You know? There ain't nothing wrong with getting a plate. They're gonna go eat some food and shit. Ain't nothing wrong with that. And when you get it, you would thank Yahweh Shem Shai. But don't sit there and say that I'm celebrating this day, all this other shit. And it'd be the women that be into that shit, man. A lot of these women, they'll draw the men into it. If it's not the children, then the women will draw the man into it. And Jake get all into it and shit. Not knowing, man, you celebrating a bloody holiday. You might as well, you dress like a turkey. You might as well just be pouring buckets of blood on you, man. You know what I'm saying? And dead bodies around you, man. That would be more accurate than having a goddamn turkey in the middle of the table, man. Talking about you thankful for some shit, man. It says, that putteth the bottle to him and maketh him drunken. Also, that thou mayest look on their nakedness and right. And our nakedness is our sin and our iniquity. So when they see us go off, they look at him, look, Lord, look, Yahweh. Look, Yahweh, Bashim Shai. Look at your people. They're all gay, they're destroyed, they're selling drugs, they're killing each other, they're worshiping these satanic holidays. Right? But really it's you that set it up. So woe unto you, Esau. I'll go verse 16. Thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. Right, so all your hidden things, they're going to be uncovered. You're going to drink of that cup of confusion. But in reality, you're going to drink that cup of truth. That everything that you've done and established is going to be shown. And everybody's going to see it. It says, and thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee. Shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. Shameful spewing. And when you look up that word for spewing, it's disgrace, man. When you take time and you look behind these different so-called holidays that they celebrate here in America, the main holidays being what? Christmas, Thanksgiving, Halloween, New Year's Eve. Just those four alone. When you look and see what them shits is really about, man, bro, ain't nothing but a disgrace, man. And shameful spewing is on our glory, because see, Thanksgiving is a day of glory for Esau. He glories in that he took down the so-called native Indians, man. He glories in the fact that he took down the so-called Negroes, enslaved them, scattered them, exploited them, okay, made trillions of dollars off of them, stolen their land, their property, their goods, their heritage. Right? He gets happy about that kind of shit. That's his glory, but in the end, there's going to be shame, man. So going back into this article, it says, I've had great many conversations with Wampapeg people in which they talk about how burdensome Thanksgiving is for them, particularly for the kids. Wampapeg adults have memories of being kids during Thanksgiving season, sitting in school, feeling invisible. And right, we are invisible down here. Whenever you talk about the plight of the children of Israel down here on earth, everybody ignores it, man. People act like they ain't see it, they ain't heard it. This is Daniel 9 and 12. It says, Daniel 9 and 12. It says, and he hath confirmed his words which he spake against us and against our judges that judge us, by bringing upon us a great evil. For under the whole heaven have not been done as have been done upon Jerusalem, as is written. Oh yeah. So when you look at these other nations, they weren't taken over the way we've been taken over. I live in Polynesian land. over here in Hawaii, man. These Hawaiians weren't taken over in the way that we were taken over, man. Their monarchy sold them out at the top. Okay, they gave up their rights freely, right? And then the people that were lessers, they had no control or power, so they couldn't do nothing. Okay, but they weren't put in the hardcore slavery. You don't see no days in remembrance of them taking over Hawaii, where the whole world stops and celebrates and bring out the food and shit. They don't do that shit. You look at the so-called Chinese. Yeah, they were exploited for their labor. But guess what? Look where they at now, man. They making billionaires every 5 damn seconds, man. Their country, they have an army. They have customs and rituals and shit that they do. Look at the Arabs. They're supposed to be the boogeyman of the East. But yet, there's no days that the East are celebrating and balling out of control about their destruction. But they do that for us. They do that upon us. And again, because our misery is invisible to them, man. They have cognitive dissonance, man. Okay, that's what they got when it come to us. That's what they got. Everybody just ignore what happened to us. You'll talk about the Holocaust from here to Timbuktu, but you will never mention the transatlantic slave trade. You will never mention, not in the way that you remember them. You never talk about the overthrowing of the Americas, North, Central, and South Americas, in the way that you do that other shit. You get them other people. It's like everybody else's oppression beats our oppression, man. We oppressed for hundreds of years, bruh. People died and came back and was still oppressing us, man. You know what I'm saying? The fuck? So it says, feeling invisible and having to wade through the nonsense that teachers were shoveling their way. They felt like their people's history, as they understood it, was being misrepresented. And that's all our history. That's all the Israelites' history. Starting from the so-called Negro, West Indian, Latino, and Native Indian, Mexican. All our history is being misrepresented, man. They felt that not only their classes, but society in general was making light of historical trauma, which weighs around their neck like a millstone. Hey, that's in the scriptures, right? That's in the scriptures, man. That yoke, man. And that word millstone. And are we not great millstone? Is not Yahweh Shai the greatest millstone? And that's how this trauma hangs around all of our necks, man. And you pushing that spirit forth, all you doing is just fucking forwarding that shit, man. Even in your houses, man. You ain't gotta be on the streets at the parades. You ain't gotta be out there doing all that shit. But you doing it in your houses, man. And then when we try to tell people, oh, you trying to ruin the party. That's why I just get a plate, man. And I'm out. I just get my fucking plate and I'm rolling, man. You know what I'm saying? I get a fucking plate because I happen to like mac and cheese. just for light. But it's some bullshit, man. Because all our trauma down here is made light of. Whether they talking about the so-called transatlantic slave trade, chattel slavery, the condition of Jim Crow, whether they talking about the reservation and the reservations that they set up for the so-called Native Indians, and then they talk about the boarding schools they got sent to and destroyed, talking about some killer Indian to save the man, and confuse our children, separated our children from us. You talk about that, and people just ignore it, man. People don't care, man. Yeah, like the brother Fear Yahweh 144 says, destroying the Lord's people was a great achievement for E. Exactly. And keeping them in a destroyed state, that's an achievement for E. So he celebrated. That's why when at the 1,000 years of hardcore slavery, when you Edomites are burnt the fuck up, every last one of you, guess what? We're gonna have that's gonna be a high holy day for us, man. And we're gonna be partying, man. On that day, we're gonna party, man. We're gonna be thanking Yahweh Shemel Shai, and we're gonna be partying, and we're gonna teach all the other nations to follow after that day. Because guess what? That's gonna be a heavy day, man. And it's not gonna be a somber day for us. You know, like the Passover is a somber day. The next Passover gonna be a somber day too. But a joyous day. Even the Passover, though it may be a solemn assembly, it's a joyous day because Yahweh Shem Shai saved us out of the iron furnace that day, man. You know? Banyan Yasha'Allah, Amos 5 and 22. Though ye offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, I will not accept them. Neither will I regard the peace offerings of your fat beasts. Right, yeah, because you got Jake. They'll be praying over that food. Oh, can you say a prayer? And who they praying to? Jesus. Sweet baby Jesus. You know? Boy, they ain't hearing that shit. Obadiah 1 and 10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. Right? Because that's what you've done to us, man. All these days that you worship and you following after, they're all days of violence put on our people, man. And it's fucked up. You just got off of celebrating Columbus Day, man, in October. That's another high holiday here in Babylon. And what is that day? That's a day of a day of remembrance of a fucking murderer, a thief, a rapist, a murderer, a child pedophile, a demon, a Satanist, man. But yeah, you got countries named after this man. You got a city-state named after this man. You got states named after this man. You got all kinds of shit, man, named after this man, yo. And in his wake, all he left was destruction, man. The thief cometh not but to kill, to steal, and to destroy, man. But Yahweh Shai came so that we may have it more abundantly, man. We may have rest and peace and truth and more abundantly. Because he ain't gonna get it down here from Esau. He ain't finna break you off. You know? And yeah, so these other nations, man, they try to play the oppression Olympics with us. But hey, you're never gonna win that, man. We got a gold medal in that shit. All our people know is oppression, man. Every day that passes by on this earth is another day of reminder that we are oppressed, man. And all the 12 tribes have been oppressed, man. Judah got it the worst, but shit, man, when you look at that shit that happened to Gad, you be like, God damn. They literally tried to eradicate them, man. But you can't. But that's what they try to do. And they put them in hardcore captivity and slavery too. A lot of them Jakes that came from, a lot of them Israelites, Gadites and Reubenites that was over here in the Americas, that got shipped over there, Asherites, Naphtaliites, and Zebulonites that got shipped over here to Seville, Spain. They didn't come back here. A lot of them didn't come back here. They stayed. They either died over there, had children over there, was scattered over there. They don't even talk about that, man. We'll be here for hours going into all of the days of the destruction that this devil has done to us, man. And that's what these days are a reminder of. This is Ecclesiastes 7 and 7. Ecclesiastes 7 and 7. It says, surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. Exactly, man. A wise man going to be mad at oppression. But an unwise man who accepted the gift from Esau, you forget that you oppressed, man. Because you live in decent. You live in all right. Not every so-called native tribe is poor and broke, busted and disgusted, but the vast majority of them are, and they got a secret boule of Gadites that keep them down and keep them fucked up, man. With Edomites all in the mix. Just like Judah got a secret cabal of Negroes that keep them boxed in and fucked up, called the Black Boule. And what they do is they support Esau and his system, man. And they keep it going. They keep the lie going. A bunch of low to no integrity having ass fucking sellouts, man. This shit fucking sucks, man. Like, you should be fucking angry, man. Why are you celebrating? Why is it a victory upon my people, man? But guess what? We got the greatest victory, man. Through Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, who beat death. Through Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, who beat death. Who's coming back to beat Esau to a fucking pope, man. And take his kingdom, man. This is Isaiah chapter 14, verse 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob. Right, the Lord Yahweh Bashem Shai has mercy on Jacob. Not Esau, not Moab, not Ammon, not Ham, not Ishmael, not Japheth, but Jacob. And will yet choose Israel. He chose us. And set them in their own land. So we're going to go back home. But our land going to be, first of all, got to be renovated, man. It's going to be burnt to the ground by nuclear fire. And then it's going to be rebuilt back up with our borders extended, man. From the Nile River in Egypt all the way back to the Euphrates in Iraq, nigga. And that slice of little land that they arguing over right now, that's ours too, baby. And we're gonna get all that. We're gonna get Petra too. Edom land. Edom land is not gonna be called Edom no more. We're gonna get that's gonna be Judah's land, man. Because you Edomites, you ain't gonna have no home to go to. You're gonna be destroyed, nigga. It says, and set them in their own land. That's how you know that the 1948ers, the small hats, you're not the Lord's people, because the Lord didn't set you in that land. The Rothschilds put you in that land. The Balfour Declaration that was given to Lord Rothschild put you in that fucking land, in that land. It's lucky for saying fucking, because that's the Lord's land, but you Gentiles, you done messed it up, man. It don't even look, it's not even a shell of what it used to be, man. How about that? It's not even a shell, right? It says, and set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined unto them. The strangers there are the Israelite foreigners. The Israelites that didn't know they were Israelites, that scattered amongst other nations, looking like these other nations, in a Gentile state of mind. Jake's in a Gentile state of mind. We were once strangers, man. So we're going to be joined. It says, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. That's not happening over in Israel right now. That's going to happen in Israel when we get home. We're going to have these other nations for servants and handmaids. And we're going to rule over our oppressors with the rod of iron, man. And we're going to dash them into pieces, man. They're going to get beat for the slightest infractions, man. They're going to get broken for the slightest infractions, man. They're going to get broken just because. And ain't going to be nobody there to plead their cause. Oh, that's a baby. It's an Edomite baby. Well, that's a Hamite baby. Who gives a fuck, man? He was a man. She was a woman at one time, man. And look at what she did. And we ain't going to be breaking out the sheet to show you all of the rap sheet they did. When they get judgment, they're going to get judgment, man. Just like we got it, man. And as you love the glory in our destruction, we're going to glory in your destruction, man. We're going to boast ourselves against you, man. Okay? And it is going to be a high holy day for the day that you Edomites get burnt the fuck up to dust, to ashes and dust, man. And we're going to hear your screams, we're going to hear your yells, we're going to hear your children yell and scream, toss some little Edomites up in that motherfucking bonfire like a baseball, man. Get one of my little sons, man. Hey, toss that little motherfucking Edomite in that fire like a log, man. Matter of fact, his mom and dad, toss all them niggas in there, man. They bitch ass in there, man. And we're going to have a party, man. Fuck, Earth, Wind, and Fire going to be in hitting the joint. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Nah. It's going to be bad, man. It's going to be fucking bad, man. Because y'all glorying over us. These days that y'all doing, y'all use to celebrate against our people, man. And then our people, simple as, they follow this shit as is a custom, man. And that's an American custom, because guess what? In South America, they're not doing that shit right now. They got their days that they celebrate the destruction of Jake down there, but America, man, that's where everybody's follow after, man. It's fucked up, man. Brother, in his likeness, Rasha Allah, Psalms 58:10, the righteous shall rejoice when he seeth the vengeance, he shall wash his feet in the blood of the wicked. That's right, man. That's right, man. That's right. That's right. When that judgment come, man, it's a wrap, bruh. It's fucking wrap. Fucking rap, bro. You know, we got our days that the Lord gave us. This is Leviticus chapter 23. Leviticus chapter 23. Leviticus 23. Yep. It says, this is Leviticus 23 and 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel, the sons of Israel, and say unto them, concerning the feast of the Lord, which ye shall proclaim to be holy, holy convocations, even these are my feasts. 6 days shall work be done, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of rest. In a holy convocation, ye shall do no work therein. It is the Sabbath of Yahweh Bashim Shai and all your dwellings. So that's tonight's a Sabbath day. The Thursday night to Friday, going into Friday is a Sabbath day. And that's spiritual too, that it fall on the so-called Thanksgiving. Right? So we ain't supposed to be cooking at night, having sex with our women, doing work, if at all possible. It's a day of rest. So that's one day. Then these are the feasts of the Lord, even holy convocations, which you shall proclaim in their season. On the 14th day of the first month, even is the Lord's Passover. So on the 14th day of the first month is of our calendar, guess what? It's a Passover. And on the 15th day of the month is the feast of unleavened bread. So the day after that is the feast of unleavened bread, which you eat unleavened bread for 7 days, man. You take all 11 out of your house prior to that, and so that you can follow it right. It says, unleavened bread unto the Lord. 7 days ye must eat unleavened bread. And the first day ye shall have in the holy convocation, ye shall do no servile work therein. So that's also a Sabbath day, a rest day. But ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord Yahweh Bashim Shai 7 days. And the 7th day is in holy convocation, ye shall do no servile therein. The Lord Yahweh Bashim Shai spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, when ye become into the land which I give unto you, ye shall reap the harvest thereof, and ye shall bring forth a sheaf of the first fruits. So this is the feast of first fruits of your harvest unto the priest. And he shall wave the sheaf before Yahweh to be accepted for you. And the morrow after the Sabbath, the priest shall wave it. And ye shall offer that day, when ye wave the sheaf, a he lamb without blemish of the first year for burnt offerings unto Yahweh. And a meat offering thereof shall be the 2 10th deals of fine flour mingled with oil, an offering made by fire unto Yahweh for a sweet savor, and a drink offering thereof shall be of wine for the full part of a hin. And ye shall eat neither bread nor parched corn nor green ears until the self same day that ye have brought an offering unto Yahweh your power, and shall be a statute forever throughout your generations in all your dwellings. And ye shall count unto you from the morrow after the Sabbath, from that day to be brought a sheaf. The wave offerings of 7 Sabbaths shall be complete. Even unto the morrow after the 7th Sabbath shall ye number 50 days, and ye shall offer a new meat offering unto Yahweh. Ye shall bring out of your habitations 2 ways of loaves of 2 tenths deals, and ye shall be fine flour. They shall be breaking into leaven, breaking with leaven. They are the first fruits of the Lord. So we have other high holy days, man. Not just these, man. You got the Day of Atonement, which, even though Yahweh Shai atoned for our sins, we still reverence it because we fear the Lord, man. And that's a sign of faith. You got the past. You got Purim, which celebrates. Well, I think it's Purim, which celebrates us coming out of us getting over on Haman, the Agagite, and his family. We're trying to destroy our whole people. You know, so we have our days, man. And these Edomites and these other nations, they're not going to triumph over us too much longer. Okay, they're not going to triumph over us too much longer. Hopefully, Lord willing, this is the last so-called Thanksgiving, last Christmas, last New Year's. You know, Lord willing, we'll be out of here soon, man. You know, so I just wanted to bring this out. I want to hold you brothers up. You select out what is watching and listening. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Baharakah Dash. Say double honors to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone for teaching His word and teaching sincerity and for ruling well. And salutation to my fellow authors. Keep pushing, keep striving. And we're almost out of here. Hey, shalom, and I hope that you're edified.